First of all, let's understand what this concept of geoeconomics is. This was brought out at the end of the Cold War by Edward Luttwak in 1990 in an article where he talked about geoeconomics essentially as a Machiavellian tool of statecraft. It was a tool where you would use economics to achieve your geopolitical objectives rather than geostrategy that had worked throughout the Cold War. The important part to understand here is that Pakistan's use of the term geoeconomics is not in that frame. We have looked at geoeconomics, at least in the national security policy, as a cooperative win-win paradigm. We are not talking about using this to undermine geopolitical interests of other countries, but we have a predicament. Pakistan's entire economic model has been built around the location that it sits on as a strategic asset. How is it an asset? Because we were partners, geopolitical partners of the Western world during the Cold War, then the Afghan jihad of the 80s, then post 9/11. We offered our security services in return for windfall inflows of foreign exchange. That inflow allowed us to run our economy, and at times when that inflow stopped, when Pakistan was not as geopolitically important, we ended up getting into a balance of payments crisis every time, and then the IMF and loans and debt. Today, if we try and continue down that path, we are headed for a storm whereby US and China, their competition as it grows, Pakistan can actually be swept away because it's our region, the Chinese backyard, where some of this proxy battleground is going to unfold. So as a proactive policy decision, Pakistan frankly has no option but to switch its focus. This is not substituting. Geopolitics and geoeconomics are two sides of the same coin. But you've got to switch your focus and prioritize your location to gain economically from the region and from the world. In a nutshell, that's what geoeconomics for Pakistan is. You've got to become, in the words of Pakistani policymakers, a connectivity hub for this region, by virtue of which you create dependence of other important countries on you, such that the cost of an unstable Pakistan is greater than the cost of a stable Pakistan, even for your adversary.